We have no mercy for those that come to disrupt the restoration of this struggle. We don't negotiate with anyone. We will never do that. Because when you do things like that, you encourage the same thing to be inside the government, and they will continue to do what they are doing. There's an added access.
Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you to this amazing platform. Thank you so much for joining me on today's program, and I wish you a very happy new year. Finally, we are now in the year 2025, and as we proceed in the year 2025, we must not forget that we have a lot of responsibilities. Our responsibility in this platform is to give you information and make sure that you have an update on what is going on in Biafra land, more especially things that has to do with the restoration of independent state of Biafra. Today, I am going to share with you a very important video. Please pay attention to this video. In all the information that we see here, you are going to see that they have started again a new deceit to distract us from the restoration of independence of Biafra. We must not be distracted. It is either Biafra or nothing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it to us, and he has not changed his mind. If anybody tries to insinuate that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have changed, that is a lie. Watch this video from beginning to the end. You will understand that the enemies will never give up. And those of us who are focusing on the restoration of Biafra, we must not give up. Do not get distracted, regardless what you hear or what you see. Always remember that it is Biafran first. All eyes must be on the rising sun. Every eye must be on the rising sun. Do not allow yourself to be carried away with things that are happening around you. The restoration of independence state of Biafra is one thing that we must focus on. We have the United States of Biafra now. Let's watch.
The slaves. So they will continue to be, you don't allow slaves to go. And he said that in national TV, and nobody arrested him. Nobody said anything to him. He said that the East, as far as they are concerned, it's not a place where, we're going to continuously be there. Because if the East go, who will be helping them, serving them, and doing all that? So the East have been long considered by those powers that be as a conquered territory. The problem that we're having now is because those who, the people who do not know Pharaoh, is in the other way, in the Bible, it's the other way around. The Pharaoh who do not know Joseph. But now, they in the East, those of us who didn't fight the war, those of us who didn't know what the war was all about, have become men today. And we see the injustice and the lopsidedness, and we are now rising to say, you guys are not speaking, who, just like Show have said, the governors of the East, those who have made millions from selling out the Igbo'S, who have made their empires built on collaborating to make sure that the East does not develop. They are the ones the people now, like Nnamdi Kanu, rose up against, because he sees the lopsidedness. People keep saying, we don't know what do the Igbo'S want. Nnamdi Kanu had a meeting with the governors of the East. And when they offered him positions, he said, no, I don't want your positions. I want you people to do this. Give us a standard railway. Give us a seaport. Give us some good road. Give us federal, establishments in the East. And that's what we're looking for. I'm not looking for a position. They left and said, okay, we'll get back to you. And of course, we know what happened after that.
Okay, so, okay, KJ, permit me to butt in at this time. My question actually is this. Do you think that the interests, the fortunes of an Igbo man will improve in a restructured Nigeria or in a sovereign state called Biafra?
Yes. I say yes to all your questions. Answer all your questions. Let me tell you, the Igbo man doesn't see Nigeria as his, world. No, we see the world as our there to take. We are not limited by the space in Nigeria. We are limited by the circumference of the earth itself, because that's why you go to every part of the world, you see an Igbo man. We don't have a confined mindset of where we can exist or not exist. And that's why the Igbo man can go to South Pole and be comfortable there and do his business, because he's open-minded. He's not restricted by the people or culture or tradition. As long as you give him a space, a level playing ground, he will play very well. And he's a team player. He's not coming to dominate you or what. No, he's concerned about himself and his family and what he's doing. Now, the reason why I say yes to all your questions is because the limitation that the Igbo man faces in Nigeria is great. It's so great, and it also hampers the development of the Southeast. There are certain things and there are certain mileage the Southeast would have achieved if it was allowed to operate at the level it wanted. And if you want to, if you have any doubt, you go back to when Nigeria was region, by regions, you see that the Southeast was the fastest growing. Even around the world, it was mentioned that Okpara's government was one of the best. And, things moved. That was when Malaysia came to Nigeria to pick up the palm fruits. So what are we saying here? We're saying that at that level, every region was putting their best out, their best foot forward. But now we're relying on the fact that, there's always going to be federal, allocation to be shared. And we are continuously and constantly pressing down on the Southeast. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Chukuma. Why is the seaport in Calabar not working? Why is the seaport in Ekpa not working? Why is the seaport in Oni and Port Harcourt not working? Why is the seaport in Warri not working? If those things work, the Igbo man probably will not bring his crates and import to Lagos and wait for months and months to be cleared. They will use those ports to get in their goods and be able to sell. Why is it that there's no standard gauge in the Southeast? Because if there was standard gauge, the Igbo man will probably use the railway like they used to do in the 80s and the 70s to move their goods and move their services. So these things are hampering. Why is there no gas pipeline in the Southeast? Why? You see, and again, look, if you fly into Nigeria, you must either land in Lagos, you land in Abuja, or you land in Kano.
You can also land in Enugu.
But it will cost you more.
Okay.
It will cost you more than you would have even landed in Lagos and taken a local flight.
You can also land in Port Harcourt.
You can land in Port Harcourt, but it will cost you 3 times what it will cost you to land in Abuja or Lagos. Okay. Will you want to do that? So you rather land in Abuja and take a local flight to your community. Okay. So what am I simply saying? Is you see, he who pays the piper dictates the tune. So the tunes have been dictated to the Igbo'S for so long. The younger people don't understand it. Now, I am so glad that the Igbo'S have risen up to be talking back. And that's why I celebrate that the woman group, I think led by Madam Pin or I can't remember her right name now. And they are speaking out. And they have said to speak out for their children. Since the men in Igbo land have failed to do that, the so-called leaders and governors and all the professors have failed to be able to stand up and speak. Just like Paul. It's not shameful that it's Afenifere that is rising up to speak on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu. It's not shameful to those who call themselves leaders of the East. What have they been able to do? Afenifere is the one demanding that Nnamdi Kanu should be released on, because this thing has come to a point nobody can understand.
Okay. Then.
But we are here sitting. Okay. Now, why did they make it an IPOB, a terrorist organization? By the way, I'm happy to say that in the whole wide world, it's only Nigeria that calls IPOB a terrorist organization. So it doesn't really mean anything, because out there, people know that they are not terrorist organizations.
Okay.
Now, why they call them terrorist organization? It will give them the opportunity to move more arms and ammunition into already the East to deal with them decisively. Because right now, they are dealing with a terrorist group, a people who are very dangerous to the existence of Nigeria. Have they not been doing this before? They've been doing it. They are the ones who brought in all the players. The major players.
I would like for you to help us understand how the Democrats and Republicans in the U.S., how they try to destroy the opposition party when they are in government. Is there any, away from Maryland, where you live, at the national level, is there some form of trying to destroy now that the GOP is in power, will they go to the extent of trying to ensure that, look, the Democrats, don't come up in 2029 or something like that? Does it ever happen? Does it ever happen?
I've never witnessed one, but I know that that's what people refer as the uni party. The uni party is just people who are there to do the bidding of those who are put in there. But the uni party does not really necessarily belong to one party or the other. They belong to the establishment, who sometimes direct the affairs, what we call the cabal in Nigeria. But for people to be planted in one party and then begin to move and give money, those things don't happen. It's so strange. Okay, $50,000. By the time you give it to somebody here, and you will not even reach your home, your house before the security forces will follow you, because monies are totally accounted for. It does not matter whether once you have money to that extent, it's accounted for. You can't. I don't know. Rudolph have been here before me, so I don't know if you have seen people going around with $50,000. About. I've never seen anybody such money. I don't have any friend who have that kind of money that they carry around.
Okay, what if it's a wire transfer? They just wire into your account. Telex.
Oh, that is even more dangerous, because once it's wired to your account, it is totally being monitored. You will explain. Every money you make, you must explain how it came. It doesn't fall from the sky. So somebody wires, as I'm sitting here, and somebody wires $50,000 to me, I will first go to the police and say, this is what I have done that brought this money to me. Or look, I just received $50,000. I don't know where it came from. Because you want to protect yourself. The system does not have a pity for anybody. If you break the law, you will face the consequence. So the best thing to do is to first of all protect yourself by saying, I don't know where this money is coming from. But in our own community, these things are carried in a boot. I remember one former government official used to carry 400,000, 400 million naira in his boot. Going around, a particular car following him was carrying only money. And at the end of the day, you ask yourself, these are the people's money. What are we using it to do? Now, coming back to the politics of bribery and corruption, it doesn't happen here. I don't know. Rudolph is a more senior man. Maybe he has seen friends who go around with money bribing what you do here is you form a pressure group that can put pressure on your legislators to do exactly what you want. I'll give an example. There was this confirmation hearing going on right now, and I know of a particular organization that published the names. They said to the people, look, we want Tosigabe to confirm. We want what's his name? The guy of the defense to be confirmed. We want the guy in the FBI to be confirmed. So call your legislators, call your Senate members. This is this thing. This is the reason why we're saying that. And people went to town. People went to those numbers and called them. I want you to vote in this direction. That's how the politics are played, and that's why it is participatory. You have the right to call your legislator, your senator, to say, this is the way I want you to vote concerning this. If you don't vote that way, you're not getting my vote the next time. And so these pressures are brought to them. But we see in our own country, the people play the back role. Once you get yourself there, you don't care about the people. You do whatever you like. And I don't know.
No, I said that's quite unfortunate. Land on your thought.
The issue with, as an Igbo man, if I tell that I'm happy with Soludo, I'll be lying to you. I'm so disappointed, because before Soludo got there, I used to be one of those who really, really, really used to, talk so very highly about him. But looking at what he has done as a professor of economics, who is an advisor to many nations, many presidents, before he came to this position, you wonder. Even the local, Onitsha trader would have done better than what he's doing. Okay, so where has he been able to bring this so much knowledge that we praise him? And he's a great man. He has written so much great books. Okay. So somebody will say that if being a business lecturer is what makes you a millionaire, all the lecturers in the university would have millionaires. But the question is, you have an opportunity to do what you need to do. Show us before you leave that you can really make Anambra State the Dubai of Nigeria. Thank you.
Then thanks very much, KJ. On the contrary, a lot of people, not on the contrary, but also a lot of people believe that, Chukwuma Soludo seems to be doing his best. Now, let's come back to the studio where we have Dr. K. Dr. K, straight off, do you think that there is the possibility of this country descending to a one-party state as quickly as you can?
There's no doubt about it. That is where we are tending to now. Even before we started this program, we were discussing behind the scene. And I said, if Nigerians refuse to hold themselves together now, it will be so serious in 2027. And the issue is this, the way things are going. Look at the issue of Ekpa. Look at the issue of the journalist that was arrested. Look at the issue in our petroleum industry. Look at the behavioral pattern our legislators are exhibiting. Even some so-called that are supposed to be respected governors. Look at the way they are behaving. So the way it is, it is only the people themselves that can come together and stop this country from turning into a party state. More importantly, rather than us building institutions, look at what Ozikeji was saying, that if you wire money to his account, you quickly go and report. Okay. Look at this. That is where institution works.
Okay.
Unlike here.
Doctor, pointedly, do you think that Nigeria can descend to a one-party state with what you see around, with what you see going on?
Yes. We are tendentiously moving towards that.
Okay, maybe that's something that you and I have to talk about during the political voice any of these days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we need to move on to the last topic of discussion. Now, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, pulled in a staggering 21.6 trillion naira in 2024, and that's a 76% surge from 12.7 trillion in 2023, driven basically by aggressive non-oil taxation. Executive Chairman Zach Adedeji hailed this as a historic milestone, surpassing the initial 19.4 trillion naira target. At a 2025 strategic retreat in Abuja, Adedeji boasted of FIR's role in funding infrastructure and social services, positioning tax officials as agents of the nation. He also revealed an even more ambitious revenue target of 25.2 trillion naira for 2025, vowing to drive tax collection through enhanced technology, stricter enforcement, and expanded tax administration systems. While the government celebrates this cash windfall, questions remain. Is this economic progress or just heavier tax burdens or struggling Nigerians and businesses? As FRS tightens its grip, who really benefits? Citizens or the political elite? Now, Dr. K, let me stay with you again. FRS raked in 21.7 trillion naira revenue in 2024. Our budget was 27 trillion naira.
That's how I was going.
So what happened? We had to borrow more money. What happened?
Now, you see some of these figures.
You might have to, wrap up your concluding thought because
you see some of these figures.
Out of time.
Some of these figures we see, and that's why somebody was saying the other time that our leaders, they have not been sincere to us. Now, 21.6 trillion. How much was our budget? Then with all the money you have been borrowing, then with the money you are getting from crude oil, the money you are getting from solid minerals, the money you are getting from, all those other things, where are you keeping this money? It's a big question that we need to ask. And that's why the government was being alleged to be throwing 50 million out to leaders to destroy their parties. I mean, if they're not exposed to such a money, where will they be able to get it? So it's a big issue that you and I, I was telling you behind the scene. I said you and I and others will have a big deal to do on this situation. Else, Nigeria will go down the drain.
All right, thanks very much, Dr. K. Now, let me come to you, Sho. Sho, FIRS raked in 21.6 trillion naira in 2024. Customs surpassed its target. Oil revenue not accounted for, not included in the 21.6 trillion naira. Our budget, total budget estimates last year, and you know what budget is, statement of priorities, income and expenditure, was 27 trillion naira. And in the midst of all of this, we went to borrowing. In your world of IT, is there a software that you have, that can help us explain what happened?
Chukwuma, you made me laugh. That's a good one. I should find the software to come and solve Nigeria's problem.
No, we just want to understand what happened. In all of this.
The reason why I was laughing before you landed on the question is because it reminded me of something. There's a popular saying in Nigeria, in some quarters. It raised the IG of Lagos from, some kobo to billions. And it's a selling point for them. He raised the IG of Lagos. Lagos is the 5th largest economy in Africa. Lagos' economy is bigger than most economies in Africa. Raising IGR through tax is very simple. Anybody can do that. It doesn't take a genius. All I have to do is to come in and increase taxes. And you would pay. If the people are dying under that weight or not, it doesn't bother me. I want to raise the IGR. So raising the IGR it's not genius. Being a tax master is not anything to say, oh, you figured out what did you crack? What did you sell? I'll speak Yoruba again. I know this, this program is listened to by a lot of people, but I will speak Yoruba again. Yorubas will say, Ishe re oma lasheje, owo re oma lashela. That means if you work, you would be able to feed yourself. If you trade, you will prosper. What did Nigeria sell in the last 12 months? What were we selling? Production.
Non-oil exports.
Production. You see, there was a statement that said consumption to production. What have we been producing? If you tax the people, you would tax them, you will collect their money. They will be poorer. They would struggle. Telecoms, tax is going up. Everything is going up. Right. Everything is being taxed. Like electricity, band A, band B, band C. Everybody's learning the alphabet all over again. It doesn't take a genius to do that. Anybody, any idiot, fool, ifulefu, anything can do that. If you have the powers and you say we're going to increase the taxes, then what? Okay. It goes up. Getting the IGR up is one thing. What do you do with it? Like the question I asked about Lagos. What are you going to do with the money you generated? And people shouldn't come and tell me there's all these rainbow-colored trains in Lagos. Unto whom much is given, much is expected. So comparing Lagos with the rest of the states in Nigeria is not a fair comparison. Lagos is a mega city. So compare Lagos with other mega cities in the world and come back and let's have a discussion. Because people will tell you, oh, but Lagos has train, Ibadan has no train. Okay. That's nonsense. So compare likes with likes. So all I'm saying is it's good that they've increased the tax. Not that it's good because people are suffering. But what are you going to do with this money? In the UK, which I always say it's not fair to compare, I know what they'll do with the taxes. That's why the people say NHS is free. It's not free in theory because it is the taxes they collect from everybody that they used to fund the NHS. If I'm sick tomorrow, if I go for a surgery, life-changing surgery, I go into the theater, they treat me. Or the most my family would do is to buy a card from the supermarket, £1, and say thank you and put it at the reception. I don't pay. That is what they do with my taxes. They collect, the bins. You do all these things. They do your roads. That's what they do with your taxes. The kids will go to school. Very good public schools, which is free. That's what we do with the taxes. Can we say the same is applicable in Nigeria? Collecting money from the people is easy. What are you doing with it? Is the question. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks very much. Sure. I would like to have your concluding thoughts on all that we ran through today. Quick one.
There's nothing to add, though. Our government should please, Ebelamboshika, we are begging them. They should please be merciful to Nigerians are struggling. Like I keep saying everywhere I go, it does not affect me or my family. We're doing well.
All right.
But for every Nigerian that you meet that is doing well, there's maybe 5,000 that are not doing well. Okay. They should please, whatever they are doing, be merciful to the people.
All right. Thanks very much. Sure. Now, KJ, let me come to you. We are discussing the issue of FIRS raising 21 trillion naira in revenue and other agencies also surpassing their targets. Yet we still had to borrow a lot, to fund a budget that was just 27 trillion naira. I mean, is it that the budget, is it that we didn't do a good job in the budget, or that we were spending more than we collected and all of that? Is that what you people do in Maryland?
Mr. Chukuma, you see, in Maryland, you will see the road. Like I said the last time, roads are tarred here twice a year. Now the snow just finished, the roads have gone bad because the salts that have been used to make sure that the snow don't stay, the ice don't, block on the road so people don't slip off the road. Look, one day I will take a picture of how roads are constructed and the level they go to make sure that people don't get accident, how they guard the roads, okay, how they guard the roads so well that you hardly can fall off the road, These people take care of their people. That's why, Show was saying earlier on that maybe there's something wrong with us, because if you see these people taking care of their people, you wonder Now, the tax that you pay, you have the right to call the your county mayor and say to the mayor, look, I need this to be done, and it will be done. If they are not, look, you don't even need to call. Everybody knows what their work is, and they go about to do it. You don't need to coerce them. Once the snow is out, before the snow gets out, because they already know the next day the snow is going to be out, all their trucks for clearing the road are already mounted at midnight. They're already ready in the position they have to be, and they walk through the night to make sure that as you're waking up in the morning, you can drive to your place of work without hindrance. They are so efficient. And of course, there are lapses here and there, but they are so efficient that you can hardly hold them, okay, to any part. So that is yet to be, to be done in Africa. In Africa, government is when you get into government, you find the best of the hillocks, the best of the hillock for your team, bodyguards. Then you get the best of the Toyota Land Cruiser for yourself. And the next 4 years, you become the king of, the jungle. That's what we do, and which is so painful. And just like Show said, majority of Nigerians, more than half of the population, are suffering. They are suffering. They are really suffering. But you are happy cruising around in all these vehicles, making yourself look larger than life. Now, having said that, it's unfortunate, and I would like to join Show to beg the people in Nigeria, the governors in Nigeria, the president of Nigeria. People are suffering. Some are dying in silence. Some have become so suicidal. Some are doing so many things. People are even trying to become carnivorous because of what is going on. How long do we have to wait? And the other day I was reading a scripture, and I'm a Christian. In Amos, the cows of Bashan. Are you going to wait until people now, God begin to come against you people before you do something for the people? You want people to begin to sell, because everything. Now look at how much you say you realize in one agency. But that doesn't put into account how much the increase you brought into the fuel. That does not take into account other agencies that are giving you supply, that are bringing money in. Where are the monies going to? Are they supposed to be for you or for the people of Nigeria? In conclusion, I will say to the Nigerian courts and the army, the Igbo'S are not going to back down. And I say again, we're not going to back down. Time has come when we will be, if you remember the story, that the danger of a single story. That's what one of the, one of Chiamanda's, very popular, this thing. The danger of single story, we have allowed you guys to tell the story for this long, okay? And now we are beginning to tell our own story ourselves. We're not going to stop. It doesn't matter how much it takes, we're not going to stop. So proscribing indigenous people of Biafra will not stop. Okay, going to the east with all your arms and ammunition will not stop. As long as there's one Igbo person living, you continue to tell this story to the world, because you have told the story enough. We are now about to correct that story. And I give kudos to those ladies of the Igbo land who have risen up to say, again, the Igbos, the women in the Igbo land have risen up, just like the 1926 or 26 or 29, when the women in Aba got up to speak on behalf of their children. The women in Igbo land have also risen up once again, to speak on behalf of their children who are being maimed, who are being, destroyed for nothing, for only tagging them as IPOB and terrorists. Now, if you notice, there have been some people who have in the past been, exterminated because they are accused, and because they are there, they can't defend themselves. So these things have been going on, but I thank God for those women who have stopped waiting for the governors, stopped waiting for the so-called leaders of the East, stopped waiting for those who have given themselves chieftaincy titles and become big names, and they are now speaking on behalf of their children. That's the way to go. I wish them, all the best. I wish that, men will join and this thing will come to a close, because nobody is going to set the Igbos free except the Igbos speak out for themselves. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks so much, KJ. Thanks so much.
We've watched with disappointment and pain in our hearts as our dear president watch as some Nigerians, people like Reno Mokri, Fani Kayode, and Ruben Abat, make statements that is capable of setting this country on fire, and they watch without doing anything about it. We are here when one of the SND in Ajawo Estate made a similar statement. He was arrested incarcerated for nothing. And we also demand that the federal government dismantle with immediate effect all the checkpoints and all the military checkpoints in the southeast. If the militaries could be in the southeast and we have this high level of crime in the southeast, I don't think we are safe in the hands of the military. We call on the governors of the southeast, raise vigilante groups. Let each community go and raise vigilante groups to guide yourself.
It's our children they are killing. We are standing our ground today to say no to all this. Otherwise, we will all become not just widows, but childless.
Another thing we want to also talk about is that the federal government should please release Nnamdi Kanu so that we will have absolute peace in the southeast.
The illegal southeast governors and south governors that he has allowed to hire and recruit fellow Biafrans in the name of security forces to continue to kill our people, because that is what they are doing. The illegitimate Soludo, Pitamba, Ozadimma, and Co. You all go ahead and hire reintegrated terrorists. You go ahead and hire fellow Biafrans that you bribe your way into, and they continue to kill innocent Biafrans. That we can no longer continue to happen. We demand that you leave United States of Biafra territory. We have 40 states in the United States of Biafra, 15 districts, 15 counties in each of the states, and we have our districts and we have our wards. The Nigeria terrorist state, Nigeria government, Christopher Musa, President Tinubu, you are mandated to leave Biafra land because we have gotten our independence. You have no place, you have no room to continue the occupation of the United States of Biafra at this moment. You are breaking the law. You are breaking our territorial integrity. You are doing what you are not supposed to do. Any presence of Nigerian military or police in Biafra land at this point is illegal. And Biafrans, we will do everything within our power to move you away from our land. That is a promise. We are going to do that. Nigerian government, you have the mandate to peacefully leave Biafra land with your delegitimized Southeast governors, South governors, that are currently occupying Biafra land, trying to recruit unsuspecting Biafrans, giving them guns, giving them arms to continue to tell.
Thank you so much for watching the program. I appreciate you for your patience to watch from beginning to end. I hope you have learned a lot from this very program that I just played, this video. Please like and share the video. Share to all platforms. After sharing the video, now you can go to the comment section and put down your comments. Whatever suggestions, contributions you have to make, what you think about the video I just played, go to the comment section and put your comment. I will go to the comment section and I bet you I am learning a lot from there and you can equally learn from there. Let us share our experience on that comment section. Thank you so much and stay blessed. Don't forget to share, and Njoku will continue to bless you as you share. Biafran government, peace, progress, unity, and equity. We move. Airborne.